Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm just going to go through a review of two Wancher pens that I received. I guess it's been about 2 or 3 weeks that I've had these, so I'm just going to give my thoughts on them. I have two here. I have the Wancher True Ebonite, and this is in brown marble, and the Wancher Sekai Aizu Urushi, and this is in sandalwood. So I'll show you the boxes really quickly. They come in really nice boxes, wood boxes. So I'm not sure which one came in which box, but they come with a nice kimono and Dream Pen True Ebonite. So I guess the Ebonite one came in this one. And we have some cartridges in here and just a random ribbon. But it just provides some information here on the True Ebonite, and if it's in this nice kimono. So that's the one box. And the other box is pretty much the same. I think this one had less materials in it. So yeah, this one had the Urushi one, this in this nice kimono, also with some cartridges. So very nice wooden boxes, and it has some information here for instruction manual and guarantee. Just scan that QR code. And I bought these directly from Wancher. And I purchased them online Wednesday evening. It was kind of late in the day, Wednesday evening here. I'm sure it was way past their closing time. And I got them, they showed up in Maryland on Monday. So I bought them Wednesday and they were available for pickup at UPS on Monday. So which was really very fast shipping. I originally saw this one in red marble. That was the one that I wanted. I saw it on eBay. The seller was actually selling it for the price that you would pay new. I made an offer, and then they made a counter offer, and I wasn't really going to have a back and forth. That one was red marble, as I said, but it had a gold nib. So what I decided to do, I was having trouble when I went to the website deciding between the Urushi and the red marble at the time. And so what I decided to do was to forego the gold nib and the ebonite feed and just get a steel Jowo nib. I know I like Jowo nibs. And so I was able to get two of these, both of these, for about $100 more than the person was selling the red marble one on eBay for. And the good thing about this brown marble one is that it was $20 cheaper. It was on discount. So I saved even more. And plus, if you go to Wancher's website and if you sign up for their email distro, you get 5% off. So that was another reason why I just bought directly from Wancher and got two. Not quite for the price of one, but close enough. I'm always out for the bargain. So I'm going to talk about the brown marble ebonite one first. It's a kind of a girthy pen. And I like the Waterman, vintage Waterman. So that's kind of what this reminded me of. I really wanted the red one, but they really don't look that much different. So that's kind of what it looks like up close. It's a nice ebonite with some orange and some browns and some blacks. It does have this kind of a springy mechanism in the cap. And there's the cap. It's unfinished. But you see there's a cap liner in there that causes this springy action. And there's a section, fairly comfortable section. Not my favorite shape in the world, but I just love the looks of this ebonite pen. It doesn't have very much of an ebonite smell. You can smell a little bit when you put the cap up to your nose, but there's no real harsh hard rubber smell to it. And it always lines up nicely. There. Oop. Lines up really nicely. Very comfortable. Um, it doesn't post, but I think for me it's long enough. The section is pretty comfortable. There's no scratchiness or no sharpness to the threads at all. And there's the nib. This says as I said, it's a Jowo number 6 nib. Just says Wancher there. It's a gold plated nib. And there's a plastic feed. And you can get these with roll stops. So it's an additional $30 for additional $30 for a clip. It's additional $40 for a roll stop. $45 if you want a red ebonite feed, $30 for a black ebonite feed, $90 for a Kiryu Kodashi steel nib, additional $90, and $150 extra for a Wancher 18 karat gold nib. And the base price of these pretty inexpensive comparatively. It's $180 to $200. So it's $200 for the red marble one and $180 for this one. And it has what they call a compact airtight capping mechanism, which is what I showed here with this springiness. So I'll get to the writing samples and everything in a minute. But the dimensions, it's a pretty long pen. It's 154 millimeters in total. The cap is 68.2. Uncapped, it's 130.5 millimeters. But as I said, it's really, really a comfortable pen. Pretty good size, I'm thinking. So let's talk about this one. This is the Wancher Sekai Aizu Urushi, and this is the Sandalwood. Very beautiful wood grain under this Urushi lacquer. And on the Wancher website, they say that there may be some imperfections in this due to the craftsmanship. And the only imperfection I see is at the top there. There's a little, I don't know if it's going to show up on this camera, but there's a little indentation right there where the lacquer wasn't filled. So I don't know if I would call that. They said, what did they say? They said it's imperfection due to the nature of applying their Urushi or something like that. For me, this little nick there is really just looks like an oversight that they just didn't fill it properly. But it's so small that it's no big deal. But it seems like that could have been done a little bit better. But for the price that you pay for this Urushi pen, it's pretty good. And I really don't see any other blemishes or imperfections on this. It looks pretty smooth. Feels very good in the hand. It's a little thin, but comfortable for me. I won't, try to cap this because of the Urushi lacquer, but the threads are a little bit smoother on this one than the ebonite one, but all in all, it's pretty comfortable. So there's the nib on this. This is exact same nib, except for this one is a fine, and the ebonite has an extra fine. So very smooth threads. This one doesn't have the bouncy capping mechanism. It's just a regular capping mechanism. But you see the nice sandalwood grain under there. So pretty simple pen. Both of them are fairly simple pens. And for this, you can get a sterling silver clip for an extra 50. And the same for the Wancher nib, 150. The Kiro Kodachi nib, extra. the black ebonite feed and the red ebonite feed extra. And the base price for this one is $300. And so that's what I paid for it with the 5% discount. So now I'll talk about how these write. So I'll go back to the True Ebonite. So what I have in the True Ebonite pen is a mixture of Colorverse glue-on, which looked like this, and Diamond Writer's Blood. This did fine with the glue-on, but because this is an extra fine nib, this ink was a little bit too light. So this is my notes to myself. So this is how it was looking. It didn't have any problems with the shimmer from the Colorverse glue-on. No hard starting or anything, but for me, this was just a little bit too light. So I mixed it with a little Diamond Writer's Blood, and this is the color that I got. So I like this color a little bit better. And this is my writing with it. And no issues with this. No, like I said, no hard starting or anything like that. It's just very, very smooth. And it's a little scratchy, but it does write in reverse. It's a nice extra fine, not scratchy at all. There's no line weight variation because this is a very, very firm nib. Very firm Jowo nib. So that's what it looks like. The Wancher True Ebonite Brown Marble. It's an extra fine Jowo. So the Sekai Aizu Urushi has a fine Jowo number 6 steel nib. And in this, I'm using Diamond Imperial Purple. So again, a very smooth, firm nib. It's okay in reverse. I think I may be running out of ink a little bit. But again, no issues with this pen as well. And so my specs I have here, each pen is hand painted with Sekai Urushi. And they have wood base. They're made of wood. The base is wood. So we have one that's ebony. I think the ebony one may be sold out. And sandalwood and vera wood. And I chose the sandalwood. It was an easy choice for me because I love the red. So that's the Sakai Yurushi. Sekai Aizu Urushi. So my thoughts on these, I think they're a good bargain for what you're getting. And the shipping was excellent. The only thing that I would say about the shipping that was a little sketchy is that these were both, like this, in a UPS envelope. And so they were squished in a UPS envelope, a padded envelope, which when I first saw it, I was a little concerned that they would be crushed or something like that. But they were just fine. Luckily, they were, they survived. No cracks or anything in the wood here. I guess it's not the most solid wood box. I'm actually surprised that they made it, but I assume Wancher knows what they're doing as far as their packaging. So there was no issue with the packaging. So say this one is thin, but for me, it's very comfortable. As I said, it's very smooth. And I love the deep red color with the wood grain. You can, as I said, you can post it, but I won't because of the Urushi. And it's just very silky, smooth, filling pen in the hand. I'll write a little bit before I let you go. This is the Wancher. It wants a hard start now because I'm on camera, but really I haven't had any issues. I may need to prime the feed. Not it's as far as wetness goes, I guess it's semi-wet. Nothing to really write home about. Just a solid pen. Let's have the beautiful Diamond Imperial Purple. I think this may be the first time that I've ever used this ink. This is a cartridge converter. I have plenty of ink in here. I just need to prime it. And nothing, no frills converter. And plastic feed. And the Wancher True Ebonite. This is the brown marble. And it feels just as comfortable in my left hand. Of course, without the roll stop. These do roll. And this is the extra fine. This is the fine. And this is the Colorverse Gluon. And Diamond Artist Blood. So very comfortable in both hands. Let's see how wet this is. Not bad for an extra fine. So all in all, very nice. And this was $180, right? $180. And this one was $300. Plus I had a 5% coupon from Wancher. So that's pretty much all I had to say. I think these are very nice pens for the money. And both of them have been functioning pretty well, no issues. And for this one, for an extra fine, it does handle shimmer very well, which I guess is a testament to the Jowo nib, not so much the pen. But all in all, I think these are very nice bangs for the buck, considering that you're getting handmade pens. And in this case, this one is a nice Urushi lacquered pen. I wanted a Urushi pen for a while. Of course, this is not the fanciest Urushi pen that you can get. It's just a basic wood-based pen with some Urushi lacquer on it. But I think it's very good for what you get. So that's my thoughts on Wancher, the Wancher pens, and the Wancher shipping. The website is really nice as well. They look like they pay a lot of attention to detail. So it just looks like a very professional operation. This was my first purchase from them. So I'm very impressed overall with the way they do business. So if you're interested, go check out their website. I'm enjoying these two pens so far. If that changes, I'll let you know. But other than that, that's all I have. Hope everyone's doing well, and I will catch you next time. Take care.